Welcome to our little video about sneezing. Here you will join us on a fast-paced and fun journey into why we sneeze. Get ready for fun facts and some achoo moments you've never heard of before. In this video, you will learn about the damage you can get from sneezing, what to do to avoid evil spirits, why you get a nasal voice when you have a cold, what you spread around you when you cough, and why do some people sneeze when they see light? And is it possible to cough when you sleep? Well, you will get the answer to that a little later. But first, remember to like and subscribe, and you'll help us make more movies like this. Let's begin. In many cultures, people say something specific when someone sneezes, such as bless you in English, or Gesundheit in German, or Prosit in Norwegian and Latin. The tradition has historical roots in the belief that the sneeze should be protected from evil spirits or illness. Some also believed that the soul could leave the body during a sneeze, causing ill health. Sending words of blessing after a sneeze was said to protect them. In the old days, there were many other myths surrounding sneezing. In certain parts of East Asia, a sneeze without any apparent cause was generally taken as a sign that someone was talking about the sneezer at that very moment. And in Japan, this belief is still portrayed in today's manga and anime. In China, Vietnam, South Korea, and Japan, there is a superstition that if talking behind someone's back makes the person being talked about sneeze, the sneezer can thus understand whether the gossip is good or bad about them. For example, one sneeze means that they are talking well of you. 2 sneezes in a row, someone is thinking about you. 3 sneezes in a row, someone is supposed to be in love with you. Several sneezes in a row, you are about to catch a cold. Foreign particles such as dust, pollen, strong odors enter the nasal cavity and irritate the mucous membrane. The irritation is detected by nerve receptors in the nose, which are connected to the trigeminal nerve. The nerve then sends a nerve signal to the brainstem, where there is a separate sneeze center. The sneeze reflex is triggered by the brainstem controlling a coordinated contraction of muscles in the throat, chest, and diaphragm. The muscles push air and irritating particles out through the nose and mouth. The nose is the entrance to the sinuses, which are cavities in the skull. The function of the sinuses is uncertain, but they reduce the weight of the bones of the head. Together with the oral cavity, nasal cavity, and pharynx, they probably act as resonators for the vibrations of the vocal cords and affect the timbre and strength of the voice. Therefore, you can sound a little stuffy or nasal when the sinuses are clogged during a cold. Inside, the sinuses are lined with a mucous membrane. The mucus traps dust and bacteria. The mucus is constantly transported out into the nasal cavity by countless cilia with rhythmic movements. Sinusitis occurs when the mucous membrane in the nose, sinuses, and throat becomes inflamed, often as a result of a bacterial infection, cold, or allergy. The nose and sinuses can produce up to 1 to 1.5 liters of mucus per day. Most of it is swallowed unconsciously without us noticing, but with a cold or allergies, production increases, something we definitely notice. It is not uncommon for one of the nasal passages to be partially or completely blocked. A blocked nose means that the passage in and out of the nose is narrowed, making it more difficult to breathe. The plug in the nasal cavity will often shift side to side, back and forth, every few hours. If you experience this, you can actually choose which side is open by lying on your side. The plug will then eventually slide down to the lowest nasal passage. Some people sneeze when they see bright light. About 20% of all people sneeze when they look directly at bright sunlight or a very bright light. The phenomenon is called the photic sneeze reflex, also known as Achoo syndrome, and it is hereditary. Most people only get a small sneeze or two, while others get violent sneezing attacks with any sudden exposure to bright light. The phenomenon is an interesting example of how the nerve pathways in the head, such as the trigeminal nerve and the optic nerve, can cause cross signals that trigger sneezing from bright light. Research suggests that the air released by sneezing can reach speeds of up to around 160 kilometers per hour and can travel many meters. A sneeze can spread thousands of small droplets around it. Droplets that have a diameter of approximately 0.1 millimeters only stay suspended for a few seconds and therefore do not spread further than approximately 1 meter from their starting point. However, droplets that have a diameter of less than 0.01 millimeters can remain airborne for hours and spread over large distances. If you are sick, you can infect others when you cough. Infectious droplets can live for many hours after a cough and can contain quantities of infectious microorganisms, depending on how sick you are when you cough. It is therefore important to sneeze into the crook of your arm or into a handkerchief to limit the spread of any infectious agents. It is better to sneeze freely into a handkerchief or the crook of your elbow than to suppress a sneeze. If you try to hold in a strong sneeze, it can sometimes cause damage to the ears, sinuses, or other parts of the respiratory tract. A large pressure difference in the ear canal will disrupt the eardrum and cause discomfort, ear pain, hearing loss, and injury. This is what we call a barotrauma. How do you sneeze when you sleep? During deep sleep, the activity in the nerves that control the sneeze reflex is so subdued that you rarely or never sneeze while you sleep. If something irritates your nose while you sleep, you will likely wake up and then sneeze. If you are extremely tired, you may not even notice that you are sneezing. The brain is only activated for a brief moment when you sneeze, before you fall back asleep. Okay, thanks for watching. And before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time.